Now, Satan doesn't care how he traps people as long as he traps them. So he will use a variety of deceptions. Some in future generations would be trapped in the scientific arguments that the world evolved on its own rather than any creator. And millions would accept that deception. For others, Satan would keep them so busy, so occupied with the things of time, they'd forget the things of eternity, and they would not keep the Bible Sabbath. But then Satan would come up with one of his most brilliant deceptions, one of his most sophisticated deceptions for Christians. He would say that if you are saved by grace, it's not necessary to keep God's law. Therefore, the law of God is irrelevant.
Okay. Total nonsense. Total nonsense. I've mentioned on the channel before how Adventism is stuck in the 19th century in a northeastern American mindset. And this is one of those evidences. They attack this straw man that the majority of Christians think the law of God's irrelevant because they're under grace. So Adventism was born in a region with a large portion of what you'd call Marcionites, because that was the case. Because that was the case, that meant the entire world believed and looked like their surroundings. So they, to this day, still take this approach, and they need to get with the times. This is their antinomian straw man. And they paint everyone with this. If you disagree with them, you're the Marcionite, as if the majority of Christians are Marcionites. Do not take the bait, folks. Do not take the bait. Mark is attacking the ancient heresy of Marcionism, which is exactly that, a heresy. Denounced as a heresy 1,500 years ago. 1,500 plus. What they mean when they say this is Christians disagree with our upholding of the old fallen creation memorial of the seventh-day Sabbath, so therefore they think the law is irrelevant. Or because Christians don't agree with our unlawful use of the law, our teaching that the law justifies and reconciles you to God, they think the law is irrelevant. Nonsense. We're not going down that rabbit hole tonight, but just do digging on the 3rd and 4th centuries regarding Marcionism. To attack or to act like this is the majority Christian view, such that it's one of Satan's greatest schemes, is just laughable. Laughable. It's a giant scheme of Satan that Christians memorialize the most cataclysmic event in all of existence, where Jesus Christ, God in flesh, accomplished the greatest act in human history by redeeming the creation that fell, inaugurating a new creation, graciously allowing us to be a part of his kingdom. Christians celebrating the defeat of sin, Satan, and the grave on the day that Jesus Christ accomplished that is Satan's greatest scheme. No, Christians have rightly understood the law of God for nearly 2,000 years at this point. The scheme of Satan is actually the great apostasy, the falling away from the teachings of Jesus and the gospel, which is precisely what the Adventist church is a part of. That's his greatest scheme. Getting you to accept anything but the pure, unadulterated gospel and clinging even one iota to anything other than the person and work of the true and living Christ. That's the greatest deception of Satan. Not going to church on a specific day. We're going to get into all that. I don't want to rant. Let's continue.